What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So it is Colt time again on my channel. We're going to be taking a look at this Colt 1911C, which stands for Classic, and we're going to go over some of the specs, features, QC issues, good old Colt, and then we're going to take it out to the range and shoot it. So let me just say something first before we get into this. I like Colt. I own 5. Currently, at the time of filming this video, I own 5 full-size Colt 1911s in 38 Super, 45, and every one of them has a problem that other manufacturers don't have. They just their QC is just it's butt. Let's, so you're going to see some of that on this pistol, and some of it's egregious that it actually left the factory like that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at it. Now, it is a blued pistol. Okay, it's a blued 1911. So that's cool. But it's, the camera's having trouble picking it up. But I don't know if you can tell. You could kind of tell. They're almost, it's a brush blue, but they're almost two different. This bluing, the slide seems lighter than the frame. And this is a brand new gun when I bought this, okay? It seems like the bluing is lighter than the frame. I don't know what that's all about. This is their, again, classic model, so it doesn't have any bells and whistles on it. It's got the spur hammer, the standard thumb safety, standard slide stop, slide release, standard mag release, standard grip safety with the standard tang on there. A little bit higher sights than like a GI model, but this is pretty much everything. This is their standard model, their classic. Comes with the wood double diamond grips, which are beautiful. So it does have a lowered ejection port, but it's not lowered and flared or relieved. The slide serrations are the vertical, straight up and down, like their standard. This is pretty much short trigger. So this is pretty much flat mainspring housing, pretty much their bottom of the barrel, or their entry model. Let's say that. Their entry model, full-size government 1911. Now, with that being said, this is a very reliable handgun, and it's pretty darn accurate. I will give it that. And the trigger is really nice on this one, as opposed to some of my other high-end, more expensive Colts. But this one's got some issues too. First of all, we're going to get into, let me zoom in and see if I can pick this up. It has issues with the finish. So again, like I said, you can kind of see it right there. The slide is almost a lighter color. That's pretty good representation. It's a lighter blue than the frame. Now, my other 2 Colts that are blued, they match perfectly. No real finish issues with that. And then the other ones I have are stainless. This also has, can you see it right there coming in? See it right there. It's like a drip. See it? And it's almost, if you catch it in the right light, it's raised above. So I don't know what happened to that, but there is you see it pretty good right there. There's a circle in the finish of this pistol. The slide, the thumb safety, I'm sorry, which is my pet peeve. Look at that, how it's stuck down and pop back up. That is just fit like boo-boo. Look at that. I mean, you get that kind of stuff on lower end arms core and stuff like that, not a $889 Colt. Okay, and that's how much I paid for this, plus taxes, shipping, transfer fee, all that other jazz. It was up close to $1,000, I think. Mid-9s maybe. So you got that. You got the poorly fit thumb safety on there. We're just getting started, folks. You got their standard grips, which is their cost saving grip right there. See the hole in it for an ambi safety, but this gun doesn't have an ambi safety. Now, I know that can give you, like, if you're somebody who's got this gun and you're just gonna, forget that I'm putting an ambi safety on it, a commander hammer, a beaver tail, all that kind of jazz, then that's a benefit for you if you're going to keep those grips. But normally when people do that, they also change out the grips. So I think they just made one set of grips with the ambi and they just slap it on everything, which is kind of, to me, that's chintzy, man. Why would you? Anyway, so the thumb safety is not great. There's that issue in the finish right there. Listen to the rap. Listen to that. That's just, and I did a video on comparing this to a $329 TSOS service special. So you can hear, and I also did a standalone review on that video. I don't know if it's out yet by the time I did this, but you can hear the fit. That one barely moves and make any noise. And this one it just rattles like crazy. One thing I don't know that I pointed out in the TSOS comparison video is this is a plastic mainspring housing. Plastic mainspring housing, rattly grip safety, poorly fit thumb safety, finish issues. When I got it, it was covered in rust. It had like this brown rust all over it. Look at the back of this slide right there, where the ejector and the frame stick out. And that's not an insignificant amount. That's a lot. All right, these are all things that a company with proper QC would not let that leave. That's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. And then I'm going to show you, and I'll take it apart because it's a pain in the butt to get it back together. There's an issue with this plunger tube thing in here, and I address it in the comparison video with the TSOS, but we're going to show it here too, in case people don't see that video. By the way, it only comes with one magazine, like most Colts, and it's a 7-rounder. Okay, 7-round standard magazine. It's got the standard mag release, short trigger. Again, no complaints about the trigger pull or the accuracy of this gun or the reliability. But they're just little small things. And that's Colt's problem, is their quality control and small things. So let's get a weight and a trigger pull on it. And then I will take it apart and show you what the issue is with the plunger tube. So what do we got here? 35.76, and then with the factory supplied magazine, 38.16. So there we have that. And now let's get the trigger pull on it. This actually has a really nice trigger, I'm not gonna lie. .304. .390, .316. So probably about 3.5 pounds. I mean, I'm telling you, when I pulled it out, I was like, okay, that's a nice trigger. Brakes, real nice. It, no take up, no creep, and it's not heavy. And this is, like I said, an accurate and reliable gun. Now, like all Colts nowadays, does come with the National Match barrel. Oh, let's see what it says there. Colt 45 Auto NM National Match. Colt government model on that side. You can kind of see the difference in the, like, a lighter bluing and more of a dark blue there. But that's not the biggest issue. Let's get it out to the range. Let's try to get this, but let me take it apart first and show you one of the issues. Well, I don't even need to really take it apart. I just need to let the slide stop down a little bit. So I don't want to take the whole thing apart. If I can get this out. Now, look at that. Okay. Now, look at how far that is protruding right there. Okay. Now watch this. That should not do that. Not only should that not do that, but I should not be able to take that out like that. This was actually backwards. This is how it was. This is a factory. This came from the factory brand new pistol. This should actually be this way. That's the proper way to fit that. And you see that little shelf on that plunger there? There should be a shelf in there that prevents it from going maybe past that. And this end should actually be back here. But it was backwards. And the reason they put it in backwards is because they knew what they were doing. Because when I first noticed it, I was like, what the hell? And I switched it back around and it just fell apart. It wasn't even, you can't even engage. Excuse me, geez. The grip safety, or it just doesn't work. It does work this way though. And that is ridiculous. That should not be like that. Let me see if I can get down. You should be able to see a smaller, look at that, a smaller hole on this end where that shelf sits up against like that and prevents it from going forward. I should not be able to take it out the front. And I thought maybe they put the plunger tube on backwards and I put it that way. Nope, you can pull it out the back too. So that is just, that's ridiculous. I mean, look at this. I'm feeding it through. I mean, come on, man. Come on. And that doesn't have, it doesn't have anything to do with this. You know, maybe somebody's like, well, maybe that's why it's fit down like that. No, it's not. This is just poorly fit on the bottom. So, you know what? I'm going to put this back together off camera. We're going to take this bad boy out to the range and see how she shoots. All right, folks, accuracy portion of this review. We have our Colt 1911 1911C. I think C stands for classic. We've talked about that. We have some 230 grain blue bullet reloads. We got a 2-inch shoot and see. Let's go. Hopefully it'll stick. Ignore these. These are other reviews. 45 gap. Look at that. That 45 gap. Go check that review out if you have. 45 gap is accurate. I'm just saying. But we're going to shoot that shoot and see. Go back 7 yards and see how she does. Well, well, well. The old Colt. Don't sleep on the old Colt. I'm telling you, with all the issues that I have with this gun and all the issues that I've had with all of my Colts, they at least have some small issue. Every one of them. And I have 5. I have always maintained that they're very reliable with ball ammunition, at least. I haven't really done a big, extensive hollow point test on them. With ball ammunition, they are very reliable and pretty darn accurate. I think the cheapest, this is the cheapest model I believe that Colt sells. And I think this is the most accurate one that I own, even compared to the national match I have. But it speaks for itself, man. It does shoot a little bit low because I was aiming right at the dot
But I'm not complaining about that. So let's go back and get the final thoughts. All right, guys, final thoughts on the Colt 1911C. Other than the finish issues I pointed out, the build quality issues, my pet peeve of the freaking safety, the money saving grips, the plastic mainspring housing, the list goes on and on with this thing. The plunger tube. I mean, are you freaking kidding me? It left the factory like that. Other than that, as you can see, it is very accurate. Shoots a tad bit low, but it's very accurate. A tad bit low for my liking, okay? But it's very accurate and it's very reliable. But again, Colt is just got to work on their quality control. I said it with every Colt that I have reviewed and purchased. Again, I own 5. I think this is the 3rd one to get reviewed. Yes, I believe. And you're going to see all 5 here on the channel. And all 5 of them have something, whether it's something small or a bunch of different things. And again, with the fit. I'm going to do a video where I compare this to a $329 T-Sauce, which is very close to the specs and features on this. It's just, I think the only difference is maybe the hammers. That one's got a Commander ring hammer. This one has a spur hammer. But other than that, they're almost identical. And this one is blue. That one I think is Cerakoted or Parkerized or something. But you're going to see a comparison. And I'm sad to say that the T-Sauce, it blows it away in multiple areas. But other than that, Colt and the one mag you give up, it shoots great, super reliable, very accurate, but you got to fix yourselves, Colt, because we love you out here, but you got to fix yourselves. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.